I think you got my some recording already, and all the presentations as a PDF form up to now. I think you got.
Yes, sir, we received.
Okay.
Yes, sir, we received, sir.
Okay. Then only I have these presentations to send you. Right. So we'll start again because I forgot to start recording. So market-driven agricultural extension and the challenges and opportunities. So this is this is my outline today. So I'm going to discuss about the objective and basically why we need this kind of approach, and the link between agriculture and the food industry, and stages in the commodity marketing system, and the challenges in agricultural marketing system, and the market-led extension, and how the individual extension personality impact on it, and how the personals should be changed, or how extension personality should oriented as a market-led extension. And then the last point is paradigm shifts from production-led to market-led, how the existing extension system actually it is based on the production-led, how we can convert it into market-led extension, right? So these are the few actually, I mean that objective is the neediness of market-led extension. So why actually we need, we should have some understanding why we need or why should our existing extension system should convert it to market-led extension, or otherwise the how to fulfill the demand of the market via the extension, or how the extension personality should change existing practices with match to the demand of the markets, right? Then the role of extension personnel in market-led extension, and then last point, we should have some understanding about the differentiate. This is a production-led approach, or this is a market-led approaches, and what are the characteristics of production-led, and what are the characteristics of market-led. So you should have some understanding. You should have some points to demarcate, so differentiates the production-led and market-led. Actually, before I go to the market-driven agricultural extension, first you should have some understanding what traditionally we are doing, or what currently we are practicing, right? What currently we are practicing. So I think you should have go through these lectures with some other lecturer. I think you are not, we will just give some briefing about the what actually Sri Lankan extension system and what actually they are practicing, right? The one approach is general agricultural extension approach. General agricultural extension approach is one of prominent agricultural extension approach in Sri Lanka. They assume they assume that technology and knowledge are not used by the farmer. So the normal general approach is they believe there is no technology and there is no knowledge with the farmer. So always they think to convey technology and convey knowledge, or the fill the technology gap and the fill the knowledge gap. This is the assumption in general extension approach. The purpose of this approaches is actually mainly focused to the increase the production of the selected crop. As example, you know, these days very highly we are talking about the production of the paddy production. So like that, maybe production of the tea. So two, three example we have. The only focus is the production. Main purpose of the general extension approach is the productions, right? Actually it is a fairly centralized, and the government control fairly centralized, and the government control centralized means one central body, or the Department of Agriculture, They are the people who decides the where we should strengthen our extension activity, where we should focus, what is the amounts of the yield we need, what are the area we should cover, right? The fairly centralized decision making and the control it with the government's body, especially with the Department of Agriculture, right? They are the people who decides where we should focus on the activities. And the planning is happening with central governments and the national basis. The planning is happening at the central governments. The objectives or the targets or the otherwise aims are top-downly flow, because the top-downly flow means the top management or top people of the government bodies or Department of Agriculture, they focuses on this much of the activity we should implement in this year with regard to extension of this area. This type of training program, this kind of awareness program, this kind of activities should be there. The numbers of farmers should be targeted. They plan. The plan is come top down with the demands or with the requirements of the central governments, right? And the general extension approach. Can you all mute up your mics, please? Right, please mute it to your mic, otherwise it will really disturb. If you have any questions to ask, you can unmute and ask at the end of the presentation. Otherwise, right, all muted. The top-downly planning. Actually it is a kind of higher human resources and monetary resources are required. So very huge numbers of human resources, so AI, ARPS, and other people who are dealing with the extension activities. Huge numbers of human resources are needed, always the monetary resources. And the central government is always the person who bearing the cost. Actually, the cost for Department of Agriculture is mainly go for that extension activity. Otherwise, all the cost is covered via the central governments. Right, at the final end objective is increase the national productions. Actually, they measured the success of these activities are with the production data. So they believe the targets, they want this millions of kilograms at the end of the year. So they measure the success of this program, or with the total yield, or with the total land area they cultivated. So they predict, or they projected the amounts of lands to be cultivated or to be promoted, and they at the end of the year they measure as a success. Okay, we go with this amounts of lands in 2023 or 2022 Maha, like that. The success is measured with the production data or the total land area they use, right? Right, that is normally happening the general extension approach. It's mainly with field crops and the paddy. This is happening, this is practicing normally with the Department of Agriculture. This is one of traditional approach to what traditionally they are doing. They focus productions and all the activities central government plan and top-downly use huge resources, huge amount of resources, and they implement and they measure the success at the year end with the production data. This is one of traditional approach what currently practicing. And the commodity specialized approaches, this is also one of practicing extension currently happening in plantation sector, especially like tea. The group of all functions are to increase the productions, right? The extension, research, input supply, marketing, prices are under one administration. Actually, we can give one example, the Ceylon tea, but it is not a really commodity specialized approach, but it has some kind of characteristics like commodity specialized, because the research body is tea research institutes, extension body is the tea small holding development authority, and the marketing body is the Sri Lanka tea boards. These are the people who are separately responsible for extension research and marketing, but there was no responsible body for inputs, and the marketing and pricing are responsible with Sri Lanka tea boards, right? But these all the bodies are under one Ministry of Plantations, so they are especially focused on tea. All the activities are targeting on the increase of the productions, right? The extension is also fairly centralized. Being even general extension approach, all the activities are function with the central government requirement, but here it is extension not such a 100% centralized, but sometimes private and public partnership approach. Private people also join with some extension activity, therefore not much centralized like general extension approach, right? Oriented is toward to one commodity or one crop. So the tea research and tea boards and the TSHDA is all the people are only focused on one crops, no any others, because that imagine the AI of the agriculture department, he is targeting the numbers of crops in a particular area, but the TI is the person who is responsible for tea extension. TI, tea instructor we call, he is only focused on only one commodity or only one crop. It is called tea, some kind of the person, right? There are some person in the tea area for TI, and the coconut cultivation, they responsible CDO, coconut cultivation development officers, like that. There are separate people responsible only for one crops. That's called commodity specialized approach. Planning is centralized by commodity organization, so the central planning, and the purpose is increasing the production of the particular commodity selected crop. Even if it is tea, so they only targets for increase the production of the tea. If it is coconut, they only targets about the productions of the increase the production of the coconut. If it is rubber, they targets only rubber, like that. So only one commodity they are targeting. This is one of traditional approach currently practicing in Sri Lanka, right? And these all the practices actually we can summarize in different way. This is also one way. It is a kind of training and visit approaches all the agents are currently practicing, right? Training and visit approach. That means the best actually it is a kind of non-best reason approaches, but the problem is the cost and the effectiveness of the training and visits approach is now gradually decreasing, because this approaches was one of traditional and one of continuously practicing approach, but the coverages, imagine one extension officer have to visit around 3,000, one TI officer have to visit around 2,000 farmers, but because of that the effectiveness of the T and V approaches is gradually reducing with the expansion of the numbers of farm. And purpose is to induce farmer to increase the production of specified crops. What they are doing is they visit farmer and they motivates farmer to increase the production of the selected crop. They have scheduled visits to farmer, and the farmer or some kind of training agent or some kind of subject matter specialists. They have scheduled visits, and they bring the information to the farmer. Actually, the one of main identified problem is that training and visits always happening with the large scale farmers, not the small scale farmers. The effectiveness of T&V always with the large scale, and those are the people who are interested to T&V approaches, and other medium and small scale farmers are not benefiting with the T&V approach, and it is taking continuous feedback, but the effectiveness is comparatively low, and not it is not given correct results to the current agricultural ecosystem or marketing ecosystem or business ecosystem, right? Therefore, the role of extension must be changed with the market demands, right? That is why, because we discuss general extension approach, they believe there is a technology and knowledge gap, and the top management or the top people who are planning in the central governments, they believe technology and knowledge gap is there. Therefore, they planning and use human and monetary resources, send that technology and knowledge to the farmer. And the commodity specialized approach, they only target selected crops. They also believe knowledge and technology gap is there, but the difference is they only focus on one crops, and this one is one of T&V visit approach is a traditional practices for all the area. Therefore, this extension practices, the role of extension, so role of extension agents must be changed with the market demands, must be changed with the market's demand, because if it is not matched with the requirements of the market, it will not sustain that product. So it will not sustain the farmer also if it is not fulfill the demands of the market, right? So therefore, we should have some understanding about what is the market of the agriculture and how they evolve and what is currently happening, right? What are the things happening in the current agricultural markets, right? You know this. Actually, I don't need to put this into this lecture for the master papers, but actually for the completeness, I put these slides, right? You know, agricultural and food industry, what happened in the history. The Bata system was the very what called fundamentally happening is the people they exchange, one of the oldest method, they exchange good or service with others, right? The people who have service, they give that service to others and they take the goods, right? So this was happening. So sometimes they share the goods, sometimes they share the service, right? That is called barter system. The happening very early stage in the agricultural ecosystem and agribusiness system. But the thing is, the exchange possibilities are very limited, right? Because imagine some person, some person have the ample amount of paddy, but also other person also have some ample amount of paddy. Then these two people can't exchange any other services, because the demand is zero for the particular two persons. Therefore, limited exchange possibilities generate demands for the what is called money. Then actually the money came to the market. Actually, according to the history data, the money came to the market actually 5,000 years ago, according to the Mesopotamian history data. What early stage, actually, you know that we share equal value to the good or service. That is why gold coin and silver coins are coming to the markets. We share the equal values, right? Then equal virtual value came, and that is called notes came, and the equal symbolic value. These days, actually, we are not using now we are not using money or what is called notes or coins. So we use our mobile tabs and others, what is called apps and others, and do all the transactions. Just the money is some kind of symbolic value to you. There's no money in your pockets, but only you have simple cards and the simple apps. So all the transaction you can do without having notes or without having any things with your pockets. That's called symbolic value. This is how the money came to the market, right? Money came to the markets, right? After the barter, then money came. After that, actually, the selling system of the agriculture was evolved to the next stage. It is called commodity trader system was initiated within the village, right? Commodity trader. So that means the producer in the village who sold their products to the villagers, who sold to the product to their villagers. That product was not come out to the village. Actually, the villages are we considered as a sustainable systems. Each other they share their product to the money. Some little amounts of items were come into the village. Those are very limited numbers. So that is how the commodity traders arise into the agricultural value chain, agricultural markets, right? This commodity trader gradually then expanded into the next villages and to the cities, right? With that, actually, we today with that evolutions, we have very big agribusiness ecosystems, very big ecosystems. We call all the actors in the supply chains are considered in one platforms, and we have to fulfill the requirements of all the actors requirements throughout the value chain. So this is how we define the ecosystem. There are all the these are the members of the ecosystem: agricultural producer and the processing agent, then distributors, retailers, and the waste managers, and all the waste, and all are together are considered as a agribusiness ecosystem. So why actually I put this agribusiness ecosystem slide is, the reason is in previous scenarios, the farmer or producer no need to much worry about the production and its qualities and other market requirements, right? In the commodity traders, in other types of sellings, what they are doing is they produce and sell. They don't worry about what market is requiring, what market is demanding, right? But with the developments of the agribusiness ecosystem, what happened is there are agricultural producers, right? Agricultural producers, they have to consider about the requirements of the processors. The processor, they want some kind of qualities to produce their product. So processors need some kind of qualities to value adding. So I will discuss in coming slides. So the producer have to consider the requirements of the processors, requirement of the distributors, requirement of the retailers, and the requirement of the consumers, and at the end they have to consider how to manage this waste. Therefore, now the farmer is not just a producer. He is not just producer. He have to consider all the requirement of the value chain, all the requirement of the agribusiness ecosystem. So therefore, he is becoming not just a farmer. He's a kind of value adder, kind of manager who have to consider all the steps. Therefore, just increase in production in the ecosystem is not the requirement of the market, right? Just increasing the productions. So just increasing the amount of the crops, just increasing the yield is not economical for them. It's not economical for them. Therefore, market driven agricultural extension is becoming kind of very demand agricultural extension approach, because this market driven people, they know what are the requirements of the processor, what are the requirements of the distributor, what are the requirement of retail and consumer and the waste. All the requirements should communicate to the producer via market driven extension agents, right? Market driven extension agent, who is the person who communicate these requirements to the farmer or producer. Therefore, the agribusiness ecosystem is kind of very important to know, or having some knowledge about the agribusiness ecosystem is very important to the person who practicing market-driven extension, and the person who know well about the requirements of the market. This is a one reasons why we need market-driven agricultural extension, right? Market-driven agriculture, the reason, right? The second one is with kind of with respect to the processing or value addition. The what manufacturer is always concerning is the low quality, the cost of production should be very low for them. The price should be always should be less with compared to the normal market. The manufacturer is asking less price as well as the 100% quality, high quality product, less price, or with less COP. So this is a market. Really, market is asking for the manufacturer from the point of view of manufacturer, right? They asking high quality product with the low price, right? These two reason is generating demand for the market-driven extension. One is agribusiness ecosystem. Second one is the production ecosystem. So these two factors are directly impact on the initiations of market-driven agricultural extension, right? These are the two factors, right? Therefore, these are the two factors. Keep these in mind. I will check in this in the exams. Okay, agribusiness ecosystem. I will check. Right. So the third reason we are calling is brand marketing. Brand marketing is something directly related to the marketing, but actually the farmer in the agricultural value chain now is not the just farmer. It's not the just farmer, right? You will get some understanding about why I am saying this, because the market is asking now kind of nutritional qualities, right? Those days the farmers, those days the consumer were not much worried about the nutritional quality. They just worried about the products, particular products. But now is scenario is completely changed. Now the demand is different, because the different segmentation is they are in the market. So one is this nutritional qualities. The farmer should farmer should ensure their product is having this kind of qualities, right? This kind of nutritional qualities. Especially, imagine I'll tell you example as a tea. So therefore, in the tea there is no nutrition, but there's some kind of requirements are there. This amount of chemical property should be there, like that. And the second one is the ornamental qualities in the market requirements. To sell, the appearance, the texture of the outer space, optical shells. There are some kind of ornamental qualities. He cannot produce as it is and send to the market. He should ensure the ornamental qualities. Imagine if you are export person, there are some length, there are some width, there are some colors of the peel that should be ensured to the consumer or exporter. That's called ornamental quality. That quality have to fulfill by the farmer. And the others are like that taste should be there, texture should be there, nutritional value should be there, and some kind of certificate should have with the farmer, as example, good agricultural practices, organic and rainforest, and many ISO like this certificate should be there with the farmer, right? Otherwise he cannot market their product, or the consumer will not buy in the international export or like that supply chain. And the last point, actually it's not last point, we have some others in coming slide. The just-in-time principle are practicing with some manufacturers, right? Just-in-time principle means The processors or value addeds, they are not maintaining the warehouse, they are not keeping storage houses their products, but what farmer need is they have to supply their agricultural products to the processor at the time of the processing. This is called just-in-time principle. In Sri Lanka, actually, we are not practicing this kind of things, but in other countries, the farmer should supply their input to the processing channel at the time of manufacturing, just-in-time principle. Therefore, because of these reasons, just production or just agricultural practicing or just farming is not having good future, or the farmer having basic agricultural practicing has he can't go further. He will be just a farmer as a small prices for their products, and he have to be in the poor category. But if he needs to be go next stage, he have to consider all these factors, what the market is required, and he have to fulfill if he needs to be a good or wealthy farmer. So therefore, to fulfill this all, actually extension officer or extension market-led extensionist should play their role to communicate these requirements to the producer, right? Otherwise, producer, they don't know. All the requirement is with the extension officer. He should communicate all the informations which is required to the market, to the producer or to the farmer, or farmer should aware, or farmer should educate somehow via the market-led extension is. This is why these are the reasons why we need market-driven agricultural extension system. These are the reasons, right? One is agribusiness ecosystem and the what producer requirements and the brand marketing. So brand marketing is in marketing form, but you should consider what really demanded by the market, right? So please keep this segment in mind, because I will check in the examinations, right? These are the few challenges in Sri Lankan agricultural sector we are facing. The few challenges, right? One is climate. Climate means the climate change as well as a natural climate. So we know Sri Lanka is a kind of hotspots in the climate impact. We are highly impacting production due to the climate. One reason is actually more than 60% of the agricultural productions are depend on the rainfalls and not irrigation on rainfall. So if rain is too high or too low, the production will be highly impacted. So therefore, the variations of climate change, these are directly impacts to go to the market. So because of the climate impact, the farmer cannot ensure the such quality, and if big reasons, right? And the topography actually, you know that the huge variations in the land system in Sri Lanka is there. So therefore, with these barriers, the farmer have big challenges to face the market requirements. And the second one is lack of operating technologies, especially when you consider paddy, we have, with compared to other crop, we have some basic operating technologies there, but with coconut, other plantation crop, tea, we don't have such operating technologies. We are still in very basic level with the technology implementation or technology adaptation. So therefore, it is one of big challenge we are facing as a Sri Lankan farmer. So lack of operating technology. And the rural infrastructures mean the irrigations, roads, telecommunications, power, what is called distributions, and the storage facilities. These are the basic rural infrastructure the farmer should have. But unfortunately, the not having this kind of good IT system, good power system, and the rural transport system, storage facilities. This all are encourage or all are negatively impact with difficulties to farmers to fulfill the requirements of the markets, which is called rural infrastructure. And the extension system, right? The challenge is the current extension system is what is called dominant by the governments, actually not dominant by the private sector. Most of other Western countries, their extension systems are dominated by the private, but in South Asian scenario, it's dominated by the governments, and they are not actually much worried about the what market requirements. They are just worried about the productions, the amounts to produce, right? The what the quantity they want to produce, the extension system, and this is one of challenge. And the access to finance, the farmers in the rural area, those who are engaging in agriculture, but taking money for their investment, taking money for their value addition, taking money for some other activities in the agriculture is very difficult, because the current banking system and other financing systems, they are not much interested to give money to the agriculture, because the return in agriculture with compared to other is very less. Because of that, repayments and other paying back money is depend on many factors: climate, markets, government policies, based on depend on numbers of factors. Therefore, financing for agriculture is kind of limited. This is one of challenge. And this is the next reason is actually is not meshed to the Sri Lankan scenario, but Sri Lanka is kind of wild animal attack, maybe wild pig, maybe what is called peacock, and other wild animal attacks are there, monkeys. They highly destroy the agricultural productions. One of big challenge. They are destroying around 10 to 20% of the production of some crops, right? Wild animals. And the land tenure system, this also the one of main reasons or main challenge, because the land sizes are continually reducing with the year. Or land size mean the amount of land owned per the person. So it is because it is as example in Mahavali system, if you have some experience, so you will know that the very beginning they are given around 5 to 7 acres like per persons, but that person have to share that land with their children. In the next generations, they have to demarcate that 5 or 7 acres to their 4 children. Like that, with the time, the land area per person for agriculture is reducing. Because of that, the small holding sector in Sri Lankan agricultural supply chain is every year it is expanding. Small holding sectors, small holding farmers, the farmer who are having less than 2 acres, less than 2.5 acres, the amount of farmers, they are expanding. So because of that, we cannot take blanket decisions, because that every smallholder have their own problem, their own drawbacks, their own limitations. Therefore, answering to huge numbers of farmers is very difficult, because other countries like Europe or America, they have the less numbers of farmers with having big numbers of land acreage. So therefore, taking decisions for production is very easy. But in Sri Lankan scenario, very difficult that land tenure system. And the environmental issue, we call the land pollution, water pollutions, and the sensitive environmental pockets are available. Therefore, these are few challenges. And the availability of the land, right? Availability of the labor. The labor for agriculture is not much demanding, because some services and some manufacturing are paying higher than agriculture because the return for agriculture is very low. Therefore, farmer cannot pay high labor wages than manufacturing and service. So therefore, demand for agricultural labor is rising due to less payments, and the aging of the farming population is also one of main drawbacks we are facing, or main challenge. The reason is youth are not participate with agriculture because they are not interested, they are not happy to do agricultural activities. So therefore, we call market-led extension. It should have what is called that should take that responsibility to motivate the youth to participate to agriculture, right? The last point is food safety issues. We have food safety, actually, access to the regional and international markets. So there are two types of food safety strategies. One is we produce the amount we need. We produce amount we need. It is one strategy. Or otherwise, we produce what we can, and what the balance we have to import. Balance we have to import. That is how we fulfill the food safety. But unfortunately, currently we are currently, due to some economic crisis, we are facing two types of difficulties. The producing difficulties is there due to not having good quality inputs, or not having even the basic inputs for the production in the local level, and not having money to import the balance is also other problems. So therefore, we are in huge what call we seriously have to concern food safety issue, because the two approaches we cannot fulfill, or locally producing or importing from the international market. These are the main challenges the agricultural sector agriculture sector is facing. And also natural disaster also, there are floods and some kind of droughts may be there. So because of these challenges, the farmer converted to the market oriented is becoming challenging. So the person who are trying to convert farmer into the market match or market demand, or farmer who convert to real businessman or entrepreneur is becoming challenging due to these challenges available with the agricultural value chain, right? Agricultural value chain. So I think you got all the points what I discussed. Anything you have to ask from me? Because we have already covered 1 hour, so we can take 5-minute break and then we can come. That's why I am asking.
Sir. Okay, sir. No problem.
Okay. Do you have anything to clear?
Yes, sir. Under the challenges, you mentioned many points.
Yeah.
But all challenges can
avoidable. Yeah, we can. Yeah.
With the technology.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, but the problem is because of our market uncertainty, we can't introduce many technologies to the farmers, because we can't say we can't predict that after the final harvest can sell in a real price or something. We can't predict because the market is very uncertain. We don't have policy, even a policy for the market.
Yeah. We are actually we are discussing those points in coming slides, right? We will discuss those. So take 5 minutes break and come 11:32. We will discuss about what is happening and what we can do, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Right. We discussed last slide what are the challenges available in agricultural system. Then we discuss about the challenges in agricultural marketing system. So when we marketing the product, so because we are discussing today about the market driven extension, so these are the challenges available in the marketing system, right? One reason is the everyday the market size is expanded. The market size is continuously expanded because the increase of the populations, the market is every year expanding for the agricultural goods. And the other thing is the other side is the production side is reducing. The land is going for manufacturing or other service, or land is farmers are go away from the agriculture. Therefore, the production side is reducing, not actually in other countries. In Sri Lankan scenario, therefore the effectiveness and the efficiency have to increase every day. With respect to the marketing system, the market is continually expanding, right? This is one of challenge, expanding the market. And the grading system, the 90% of the trade, so 95%.
Excuse me, this slide. So I cannot see the slide. So
you cannot see slides now. Now is it okay?
We can see, sir. I can see.
Yes, sir. I can also see.
Okay. How about the others? I already.
It is visible.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. The next point is the next challenge in marketing system is the trading system. So the 90 to 95% of the traders are privately handling traders. So therefore, the real monitoring mechanism is not available in Sri Lanka, or the information flow throughout the value chain. It is not fairly distributed within the stakeholders, right? I think you got my points. 90%, so 95% are private trades. That trades are not properly monitoring, and the information distribution is not fair and not transparent within the stakeholders. Therefore, what is called is unfair decision makings happening in between producer and the consumer. So therefore, that monitoring mechanism and the information observation should be there. This is one of one challenge in the Sri Lankan scenario. And the direct marketing approaches like what is called farmer to consumer, linking farmer direct to the consumer is in Sri Lankan scenario is a kind of negligible. The amount of selling the productions to the consumer is kind of negligible levels. They are not worried. They can take huge margins, but this not the 100% to cover, but up to even it is the possibilities is 5 to 10%, but even it is not covering on negligible levels, direct marketing approach of the farmers. And the inefficient trading facilities in rural level. In rural scenarios, you know that technologies are less and the managements are less, and the losses and the productions every day is insufficient in rural levels. The facilities are not, and facilities are not encourage farmer to be market oriented, right? And the handling problems, you know that around 40 to 45% of the productions are lost due to the post-harvest handling after the productions. When it come to the consumer, the total loss is around 40%, maybe quality loss or maybe a quantity loss. These kind of challenges. It is due to the poor infrastructure, poor transport facilities, poor handling, and the other all the related. So therefore, these are the challenges available with the marketing system. These are the basic. And the other sectors, in even not other sectors, other challenging factors when we look at in the agricultural marketing system, risk bearing, how that risk is bearing throughout the value chain, right? You know that there are two risk factors. One is production risk, other one is marketing risk. So there are two risk factors available in one particular value chain. So farmer to market, there is a production risk that due to the climate, due to the insect or other attack, due to the any environmental problem, due to the policies of the governments. It is with the production risk from producer to the market to consumer. It is called marketing risk. The post harvest losses, any contaminations like that. That's called marketing risk there. So how this risk is bearing, how is responsibilities with each actors in the value chain. There is a problem, there's a challenge. And the storage of farm produce. So we know that even we discuss in the break time, there is no storage facilities available in the cold room, maybe maybe other warehouses, the suitable warehouses for the productions not available in the agricultural area. Therefore, what happened is the production is at the time of productions, all the total quantity is come to the market, right? Total quantity is come to the markets. Therefore, the demand is reducing. The prices also going down. Storage facilities are because if they can store, they can release the correct amounts to the suitable amounts to the markets, and they can store the balance to maintain the price. Unfortunately, it is not happening. Entire amount have to send to the market without storing. And the grading facilities that farmer, if farmer can grade their products at the level of the farm gate, and they can take suitable margin without just sending all the grades, the good quality one, bad quality one, damages, insect attacks, then selling all that to the market. If we can grade and sell, they can take particularly a good margin than selling all. So this kind of one other challenge the farmers are facing. They don't have grading, or they don't worry about grading. What they do is all the production they put to the bag and send to the market. And also the absence of grades and standards. So even most of vegetables and the rice and other areas, their production, they don't have grading facilities and grades or standardizations. Not there, but they do is just produce and send, because there is no even sometimes demands for the grading. So standardizations, maybe standardizing packing standardization, storage standardization, transport standardization, not is there. Therefore, not demand, and the back end is facing difficulties with not having good quality, good amount of the money, right? And the processing technology and processing opportunities is very less. That is why the amounts that come to the market, if there is no demands, they have to throw it to the garbage and they have to go back. That we are experiencing main economic centers like Dambul and other areas. What is happening is the production who come to the market, who sent to the market, is if not sold, not buyer came, what happened is there is no processing opportunities, no storage in opportunity. What they have to destroy. So that is one of challenge. And the quality differences, the quality related factors of the products are not concerning. And the ICT, use of ICT is very lack. So if we have such kind of ICT solutions to maintain the amounts come to the economic center, right? The continuously supply of the products, that can be impact to the maintain the price. That is why price fluctuation, supply fluctuation is happening in the everywhere in Sri Lanka. And the market intelligence means the farmers, they don't have the real knowledge about the market. So So what the prediction is, imagine if they got good price for their product in this season, what happen is all the farmers are happy to go for that particular crops. So what happen is that next season huge amount of supply come to the market, the demand go down, and the entire farmer network will be collapse. So therefore market intelligence is very lack in Sri Lankan scenario. This is one kind of challenge. So if farmer have challenge, or if extension officer have that knowledge, this is the amount we need for Sri Lanka. This is the numbers of farmer who need to cultivate this particular crops for this season. If they have that knowledge, that is called market intelligence. So then the demand, then supply fluctuation not will happen, and also price fluctuation also will be very limited. So therefore they can take good margin. And the financing we discuss about the why that financial bodies are not happy to give money, financial problem, and the facilitating function. So facilitation function we like warehouses, storages, transport, like that, right? And these are the financial lagging functions. And other challenges is the gigantic mechanism of the public extension. Gigantic means the very large extension body in the Department of Agriculture. They individually handling all the crops are very it is very difficult them to handle the entire network. So therefore this public extension should be some kind of decentralized, and public and private people should be there, and to overcome these challenges. So big size is of the extension mechanism is creating some negative impacts. It's very difficult. One single extension officer to handle all the farmers and resolve all the problem having these farmers is very difficult. So therefore that is kind of inefficiency of this current extension system. And the extension harder developments, it is not happening. The extension personality should develop to how actually developing the how the existing extension officer change to market led or demand led personality. How we can create, it is not happening. That money not having money for their development, right? So actually there are some challenges in agriculture, there are some challenges in agricultural marketing system, but the extension officer or extension person who are doing market led extension have to play that role to overcome those challenges, and the farmer to change to market led farmer, right? There are some challenges, but market led extension is somehow do their role to change just farmer to the businessman, right? Therefore what are the things, what are the role he have to play, what are the role he have to play within the system? These are the few points you just worried about. Actually the analyzing the market is one of big skill that market led extension it should have. Market analyze, because the analyzing the market, it is given these are the crops which having this much of demand, these are the crops that having less demand, these are the having moderate demand. So what are the time we should cultivate? So all the information is and the analyze output should be there with the extension officer who are doing market led extension. Therefore SWOT analysis, what are the strength of this area, what are the weakness of this area, what are the opportunities available, and what are the threats. So that analyzing part should be there with the extension officer, right? If he want to convert the existing extension system to market led extension. And then he have to identify the interest groups, because if you have 5,000 farmers, but the interest people for converted to the market led will be very limited, less than 10%. So therefore he have that knowledge, he have that feeling, identify organization who are in the interest categories, right? in adoption curve, you will you sometime maybe learn about the interest group, right? They have to identify the organization, farmers organization who are interested, and then they have to support and enhancing the capabilities for locally established group. So you have to identify and support that locally established group to match with the demand of the market. And then he should be a person. These are the qualities of the market-led extension, right? He should be a person with interactive and with the correct communication skill, because he should know the where you can market, where we can promote, how you can use social media, how you can other IT solutions, how you can use different apps for to match the market, and establishing marketing and agri-processing linkages, because the farmers are just they are producers. They produce, and then what do they do is they sell their product to the immediate collector or immediate shops or immediate buyer. But the extension officer or market-led extension, it should develop other marketing linkage or avoid the traditional marketing channels. So these are the opportunities, right? This is a traditional what every day we do, but you can do this kind of some deviation approaches to sell their product. So gives to not to give to the village collector, to give to processing center, like that, right? Like that. That is called establishing marketing and agri-processing linkages. These are the value adding opportunities. These are the different buyer avoiding traditional buying system, right? Right, that is called establishing marketing and agri-processing linkage. These are the things the agro market-led personality have to do. And advice on product planning. Advice on product planning. This is one of very critical thing he have to do is he have to advise on product planning. Okay, so this is the amount of land area you have to cultivate for this season. So if you can cultivate this amount land area, you can maintain the price. And this is the crop you have to select. This crop you should not cultivate this this season, like that. Advice on product planning. Advice on product planning, and the education farming communities almost they are doing. And the direct marketing. Direct marketing is mean use of social media, use of other e-commerce platform, use of other approach, and exporting like opportunities he have to create with the farmers. And the capacity buildings. Capacity building means the today farmers are their capacity is to produce, and immediately as soon as possible what they do is sell to the collector or the center. But avoiding that, they should increase their capacities to know about what are the regional market, what are the international market, how to value add this product, how to package this product, how to access the international market, like that. Always to expand, or always we call is climbing the ladder of the value chain, or otherwise we call forward integration, how to go to next stage, right? That capacity building is the one of role of extension officer. So that to play that role, so that this is the role he have to play: analyze the market, identify the interest group, establish local groups, and then develop that linkages, right? Advice on product planning, direct marketing, capacity building. So to do those things, to do those role, to play those role, the person also should have understanding about the present agricultural scenario and land use pattern, right? Even last year, imagine last year we had the entire system is with the organic, right? Entire system it is the okay, we are organic nation, so all the scenario is the land use pattern is to go with organic. So that at that time he cannot advise to the other people, okay, don't worry, you go with this chemical, so you go with agrochemical and take good advantage. He cannot. Therefore, scenarios should be a person identify all the scenarios, what is happening in particular market, particular area, and the land use pattern of the area, that he should have a thorough knowledge about that, and the suitability of land holding with to various crop and enterprises. So all the lands, these are the basic things you can't use for all the crops, the suitability of the various crops and the enterprises, and the crops demand in the near future. So he should have what is called market intelligence in near future, what kind of crop will take or will have a good demand for. So that kind of information should be there, and the market prices for the crop and the availability of the input. These days the paddy farmers are worried about will they have fertilizer for next season, or will have or not. They are worried. So that the person should have correct knowledge. Okay, we have input, don't worry, you go for with paddy farming, we will supply at the time of the product or input you want, right? Availability information we should have, and the usages of information, how to effectively use, and the credit facility creating, what are the facilities given by the different financial organizations, bank and others, and the local creditors, what are they available and how they can utilize, and the desired qualities of the product by the consumer. That is called what is consumer are asking. It is that qualities, that knowledge should be there with the extension officer, and the market network local area available and their prices, and the network of storage facilities and the transport facilities. This all the informations should be with the person who are practicing market-led extension. Though other extensionists, actually they don't worry about that. Normally what happens is traditional extensionists are, they are doing is they go and advise for production and come back home. They go to the field and advise on how to increase the demand, how to increase the production, and then come back home. But the person who are practicing what is called market-led extension, he should the person with all the information, what is the current scenario, policies, the land informations, land use pattern, enterprises, market prices, availabilities of inputs, how to use it, what are the credit facilities available, and what consumers are needs, what are the other local market availables, and what are the network, where are the storage facilities, their connections, transport facilities, and their connection. This all the information should be there with the market-led extension. Therefore, developing such kind of person is not simple. That is why actually the public dominant extension system converting into the market dominant or market demand is becoming a problem. They are doing they do business, their jobs, and go to additional work is called accountability. So therefore, all the activity should be end with the business. That is why the private extension system is arise. That people, they are doing business, not their job. That private extension is they are the part of the business. They also enjoying the doing extension, because it is at the end of the month it converted to the money. That is why the market oriented extension is practicing by the private sector. It is generated money, right? These are the things, these are the required informations to the extension system or to the farmer to become market led, right? These are the last 2-3 slides. Actually, why we fail when we practice in market led is explained by the critical linkages, right? Critical linkages mean, that in the supply chain there are linkages. In supply chain there are upper stream and the lower stream are there. Two stream are there. In the upper stream are the policy bodies, and the lower stream are the farmers and who are practicing, right? As example, I will take the organic scenario again. Imagine the country or government, and the government, they take decisions. They go for the entire country organic nation within 1 or 2 years, right? That is the policy. The upper stream of the supply chain, they decides to go for organic nation. That's the policy. And the support services like media and other supporting bodies of that policy, the media people, they support with that decision, right? Okay, you go with me, you go with organic, you can take that advantage. They highly promoted, right? Support services. Some other support services, actually, imagine the government extension officers and the Department of Agricultural officers, Department of Agricultural Extension. They don't know what to brings to the farmer. So actually, will they give a correct results? They were in intermediary position. They were confused, right? Some support services are highly encouraging. Some supporting services are highly discouraging, and some people are in intermediary without having understanding what to do, right? What to do at that point, right? The support services and the producers and their organization, the farmers of that at that time, actually they also were fully confused at that time. They don't know how much amount of organic fertilizer they have to add to the field. Actually, it will work, it will give correct results, right? Farmer and the organization are confused, right? And the market opportunities, there are some market opportunities for organic products, right? But the price is very huge. That at that price, can it affordable for to the local communities? Can that product will buy by the local communities, right? There was some problem with the market opportunities. And the knowledge support services, actually research people, scientists, knowledge support services was also confused, and they also worried, and they are having some plan, but it was not in the linkages, right? Therefore, any policy or any practice or anything, if you go to implement in the field, all the critical linkages should be in one platform, and they should be interlinked, and all the people get together and take their decisions. The knowledge support services, policy people, and the support services, producers, and the market, right? What happened, that is why that organic policy failed, because policy people take decision, but others were not in the one link. If anyone who want to take the decision into the development of the agricultural sector, so the critical linkages are very, very, very important. So therefore, person who are doing implementation, right, should consider this linkages. So even if we go for the market-led extension, so policy, what is policy, what are the support services, what are the producers and other organizations are doing, and what are the marketing opportunities, and what are the role of support services. So this, all the people should be in one platform and take a decision on that particular area they want to develop. So therefore, we have to keep this in mind. So this is a linkages of knowledge and information system. There are different models, but the second one is agricultural knowledge support system. Is the just for your information, I am sharing this Linkin agricultural development support system, credit, supplies, and marketing all together one, right? So this is critical linkages to give some basic understanding. AKSS is the point we should implement. So the credit, suppliers, and marketing, and others are there. You don't need to worry. Right. Last slide. Last 2-3 slide. So why do we not need to reform existing extension system? Actually, one is globalization. It's called shaping and shifting the agriculture. That globalization means that imagine one producer, one farmer is producing their product to the local market, and the neighbor farmer is producing their product to the international market. So imagine the two person who are competing. One is producing the local market, one is producing to the international markets. One is taking huge margin, local one is always poor. So therefore, that globalization effect is there always to generate or shifting and shaping agriculture, always creating some stress to the farmer to change, farmer to go with technology, farmer to go with IT. Therefore, that system should be reformed. And the trade pressure, you know that what is the generated by the demand and supply. It is called trade pressure. It is also generate impact to the extension system to supply such quality product. And the agricultural extension system T and V visit should be actually inefficient, irrelevant, and ineffective and poorly targeted. Therefore, the traditional approaches should be changes. And the needs for linkages, partnership to support agricultural innovation and development. So that means we discuss PPP approach, how we can use public, private, and civil society, or otherwise we call pluralistic extension system, to develop the existing agricultural system. So there are two driven advisory service. Today only we discuss market driven, and the demand driven is actually demand means it is generated by the what is need by the farmer. The market driven means what is actually identify your needs of the consumer, right? Demand driven, it is demand by the producer, and the market driven is what is the demand by the majority time is the consumer, right? Keep this in mind. And the institutional and operational reform, how it should. Normally, Sri Lankan scenario is one public system is there. It is Department of Agriculture is very main body, but it is should be changed into the pluralistic system. Pluralistic system mean private sector, civil society, farmer organizations, NGOs, and all together should get together and do that extension. Therefore, that should be reformed to one public system, one dominant system to the decentralized pluralistic extension system. Right, that reform should be there in Sri Lanka, because otherwise it is very difficult to even central governments to control or invest. There is no money. So becoming all the creating all the members part of the extension system will generate huge impact to the agricultural system in Sri Lanka. And also extension is currently it is considered as a public goods, because the government extension officer or AI or whatever the person only who advise, but it should redefine the role and task of other stakeholder, because there are some trading peoples, there are some private sectors, there are some value adders. They also have some role in extension, not only the agricultural instructors. Okay, AI, not only AI, TI, AI, or whatever the government body is on the public good. We have to redefine the task of the all stakeholders. And the national coverage is by public sector is actually entire. Even we discuss entire extension is now is driven or governed by public sector, but it should be private sector driven, and the market and the funding facilities, because the currently funding mechanism is the central government should flush money to the government bodies, and that use that public money for extension system. But it decentralized and market driven and private sector driven, then government can reduce the amounts of money they are flushing to the public sector, and it will reduce some burning issues in the public funding. And also there are some lot of peoples, they don't need to get free advisory service. Actually, we have to identify that sector, and not to give always free advisory, even funding or the charges advisory services. This good, it is reduce some public money, actually not wasting or public money investing on the extension system. And currently it is centralized, so that centralized is always centralized decision making, always not given good results, not even positively impact the developments of the agricultural sector. Always it should be decentralized, right? And the people or the extension system is currently only talk about the technology focuses, but it should be problem solving, demand and market, what is they are requiring, and that the things we have to consider. And the public funding system is the currently we are doing the central government so budgets the amounts of money for the Department of Agriculture, but the new funding mechanism I am not proposing. This is the funding mechanism, but the new funding mechanism should be their cost share, because in some regional countries they are practicing some paid extension service, cost share in extension services, and like that, and resource share in extension services. So many numbers of options are there, but the new funding mechanism should be we have to think actually. And normally what we are doing is at the end is agricultural developments, but it should be not the only agricultural development. It's also dealing with the it should be part of the rural development, because 90% of some area in Sri Lanka is with the rural community. So it's also part of the rural development. Extension needs not just agricultural development. It is some kind of holistic thing to resolve the problem in the rural community or the developments of the village. Right. With that, I think I can conclude my session. So, in last hour, do you have anything to ask, or it is clear? Or